All right, phone is on, stream is on, microphone is plugged in. In about 30 seconds, we will fully get started here. La di da di da. Would be pretty nice if they made like an aftermarket air intake that just sort of went up and over, or maybe through the front, and well, maybe through the front not because it would block the belts, but up and over these coils. I would actually sawzall a hole through my hood if it meant that I would never have to take off this intake manifold again. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we're about a minute in, so let's get the stream started. I am the Roads Here Suck. I am back. Hello. I was supposed to be here yesterday, but the problem was that it started raining. All we have to do is maybe clean up the space here, um, clean up the corresponding surface on the upper air intake manifold, change the gasket, reinstall it, and that's it. We're done. All we have to do then is test drive the thing. But it started raining yesterday, so one of the things I sort of want to make sure when I test drive this thing is to make sure nothing leaks. And that's hard to do if everything is wet. So we waited for today, and the thing is with today is that it's wet out there as well. But at least we'll get started with the upper intake manifold. If we finish today, then we'll just do our test drive tomorrow, no problem. Anyway, I don't have a whole lot of brake cleaner left. And yesterday, we've already washed this thing like 5 times. So we'll get started, I guess, by washing this thing just one last time. And then we'll move on to the upper intake manifold itself. Okay? Sounds good? You guys like the plan? All right. Let's get started here. I'm going to tear off one square of paper towel, or one rectangle if you want to be geometrically technically correct. You probably don't hear it across the microphone, but there's barely any brake clean left. As a matter of fact, perhaps we can spend this episode emptying this can. Hmm? Now, what do you do with aerosol cans? I forget. I don't think you can like just throw them in a recycling bin, right? Because even if you squeeze the top and empty out all the air from within, it can still technically burst, right? It still has some pressure, and if it bursts, it can technically somehow cause, if there's a spark, cause a fire, and then you have a trash truck on fire. But then again, I feel like so many people throw these things away that you would probably have trash trucks on fire all the time, right? So maybe it's not such a big deal. I don't know. Anyway, just going around. Like I said, giving this thing just one last clean. I believe the gasket, if you see the black squares, I guess the gasket sits like in between the black squares. Like I said, I've cleaned this off pretty much as best as I could with the brake clean. I don't think I'm gonna get any better than this, so that's all right. We'll just take what we can get. That's all right. Ladies and gentlemen, in this household, we do not worry. No, I'm just kidding. We worry about, I don't know. We worry about stuff. I guess we're humans, right? Let's see. I clean this thing for 5 seconds. I look up, 5 minutes has already gone by. My goodness. That's crazy. Eh, that's as good as we're gonna get it, I believe. And just go around each square one more time, I guess. Why not? Mm-hmm. I think I still missed like the top two squares, so I'll just go double back. Get that. All right. Like I said, I don't see the point in doing this like 5 more times because I doubt it's gonna get any cleaner than it is. Not unless I bring out some like power tools or potentially very scrubby things that I don't want to scrub the car with. All right, let me pick up and bring this upper intake manifold. It's for what it is, it's actually kind of heavy. Not terribly so, but still kind of surprising, I guess. I think it probably weighs like 20 or 30 pounds. Um, I have it leaned up against my wheel. Well, I guess I could lay it down on the floor. Hold on. Yep. I was gonna move you guys to see it, I guess, but honestly, it makes more sense for me to just lay it down flat on the floor. Okay. So the part that goes onto this part is this. All right. So this is the next surface we will be cleaning, I guess. If I can actually find a all right viewing angle on this, my goodness. That's actually a little much more up close than I thought it would be, but perhaps when I remove these towels, it might be better. Since this gasket is blue, well, I guess we do kind of know that this has been replaced once in the past because the spark plugs were not original to the car, right? So the spark plugs have already been changed once, which means this here upper intake manifold has already been changed once too. So, and this actually doesn't look too terrible. And again, what's nice here is that really it's this gasketed surface that sits on top of that metal one. And yes, the gasket does run between the squares, by the way, but um, this gasketed surface is what sits on top of that metal on that engine. So yes, we'll clean off, this surface and this but really it's this gasketed surface that must be clean. If you guys catch what I'm saying, that's what I guess I could visually show you on the valve covers. So you'll notice that the two pieces of metal it's themselves actually don't touch. It's the gasket, that piece of blue that you can sort of see, that causes that seal. So it's nice to get that area clean so debris doesn't get in, but um, our whole job cleaning is just going to be easy. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And in the most convoluted way I could possibly think of, right? And I keep knocking over stuff here. Right. Clean. So I suppose our strategy here will be to just take the brake clean. We'll get a paper towel. We'll soak the paper towel in brake clean. And we'll give this just one wipe down with the gasket in place. Sort of clean off dirt before you even take anything off, right? Hold on, before I even do this, is this safe on plastic? Let me read here. Directions: remove cap, insert extension tube, spray brake parts liberally, air dry and wipe dry with clean cloth, protect rubber and plastic from spray. Okay, you know what? Let's not spray the plastic because, well, hold on. Like brake lines and whatnot, they're made of um, plastic. This stuff shouldn't harm it. Mm, this product can expose you to ethylbenzene, known in the state of California to cause cancer. Good thing we're not in California. Take rubber and plastic from spray. All right, well, you know what? We will not use the brake parts cleaner on this. Instead, we will use water. Um, so excuse me for just a moment. I'm going to run over to the sink, which is in the kitchen. Should take me maybe like 15 seconds. Start the timer. Okay. I suspect that may have been more than 15 seconds. Maybe. Forgive me, fellow subscribers or whatever. Anyway, we get to work. We have just a paper towel and honestly, just water. Just water. You know what? That has like no cleaning ability though. But again, I suppose it doesn't really matter, does it? It's only that gasket that forms that seal. Don't really care about much else. So really, I mean, if I just brush off the loose debris so that it doesn't fall into that gasketed zone, I guess it's all right. All right, I'm just gonna follow that up with a dry paper towel. Just get all that moisture off. Honestly, I mean, I doubted the water method. It didn't look like much was coming off, but you know what? That does look like it cleaned up the surface a little bit, so perhaps it wasn't entirely useless. All right, just run our fingers along here. It looks like some water got into the gasket itself. So once we pull this gasket out, we're gonna run through that groove with a paper towel. Now let me find my dental tool turned into a car tool here. Little picky bit. Pick. There, there we go. Old gasket out. And again, I suspect that this gasket has been changed because the spark plugs themselves have actually been changed once. So this gasket is actually in a fairly good shape, pretty elastic and gummy. So probably the best thing we've pulled off this car so far. The best condition anyway. Let me get my paper towel here. I'm gonna fold it up like so, and I'm just going to put it in that groove and try to collect uh, any grime, I guess, as well as residual water that may have gotten in there. That's all that's gonna do is, well, I guess water will evaporate away, but just the dry zone would work best anyway. Why not? So this is gonna take just a moment here. Just a moment as I work through every ridge here, pulling out grime. Where was I? I think I finished here, so then I go here, down here, maybe this way. Yep, making progress. Now, putting on this air intake manifold is really like the last step in this whole like 12 episode series. So I guess I should be kind of happy, right? But believe it or not, this is the one part that I've been sort of dreading this entire time. Um, for those of you who may have watched the first episode, um, taking this thing off was actually very hard to do. One, the transmission dipstick is very much in the way and cannot be moved, not easily anyway. And two, the little brackets that hold this thing from the sides, it's very hard to get your hand in there. Now, we did end up removing the air intake, so that actually might make our lives easier. We'll see how that works out for us. Now, is this a water droplet or is this just some plastic? That was a water droplet, okay. Now, judging by all the grime that's coming off the out of these grooves, I'm thinking the previous owner, maybe he changed the gasket when he changed the spark plugs, but he probably never actually cleaned the parts. Again, I don't really think you need to, but well, for this part anyway, I just figure it's a good practice. That's all. Right. I suppose that's pretty good. It looks a little bit shiny in there, but is that water? Is that bits of oil? Hard to say, really. And again, I guess it doesn't matter. The gasket is supposed to seal um, inside wall and against the metal, right? So if this side is dirty, it doesn't matter. So instead of spending another hour cleaning this thing, let's just slap the parts in together, eh? Now we have the Felpro MS91990 gasket kit. It came with two EGR tube seals, one of which we've already put in. The second one we can throw away. I mean, I'll set it aside in case something goes horribly wrong, but um, we probably won't be using this. The reason is some models of this engine come with a upper and lower EGR tube, so that's why they give you two seals. But this 3.5 liter V6 only has the upper EGR tube, so we only needed one seal. Anyway, I guess it's easier to show you while this is still in the package, but here's this gasket. If you turn it over to the side, you'll see one, here you go. You'll see one half has like a ridges in it, and one half I think it does not. So the ridges are what gets, or the side with the ridges is the side that gets pushed in to the intake manifold. The ridged side gets pushed in, and then the flat side is the one that sits against the metal of the engine. Let me see if I can give you guys a better look, because it almost looks like this whole thing is ridged. Well, if the camera can focus. But you'll see the ridge stops at this seam, whereas on the other side, it continues pretty much all the way through. So this bottom side is what gets pushed in to the intake manifold, or so I believe. All right, I've removed it from the packaging. And we will now lay it onto the intake manifold, like so. Just gently lay it down. Let me get this box out from under my feet. Hold on. And let me properly dispose of it like a good citizen in a nation that pretends to recycle. Right. And just like all the other gaskets, we don't push and then stretch, right? We don't, I guess, yeah, we don't push it and then stretch it. What we will do is we will go to each corner and push it into each square. I guess it's easier if I just show you. Go to each corner, push it into each square. And then, once we push in all the corners, that's when we will take our fingers and just sort of run around it. Again, we're not pushing and stretching. We're just going from the top, pushing down, from the top, pushing down, from the top, pushing down, all around. No stretching, no pulling, no pinching. Just pushing from the top down. All right, we've got to this side. I will double back in case I missed something. Okay, that's it. We now put it back on the engine. Folks, this is the part that I've been dreading, okay? This part actually might take some time, too. It would be nice if we can throw it in and get it first try. But I wouldn't be holding my breath if I'm honest. Yeah, this part is actually very difficult because of this. Only because of this. That's what makes life hard here for us. This one transmission dipstick. Move this out of the way. Yeah, let's try, I guess. Now, of course, now that I've perfectly cleaned up that zone and have this clean gasket on and everything, this is where it's gonna get not great. Oh, and again, this thing weighs quite a bit too. What are the odds I can just force it on? Not that high. Let's see. Let's see. Man, if only they like chopped this transmission dipstick like an inch shorter, maybe. This would be so much easier to put on. But they didn't. But they did not. How am I going to do this? See, the thing here is we have to get this dipstick into this hole. So I can't put it in through this side. It's just not going to work. I have to force it through this sort of general area. I don't even know if you guys saw that on camera. Probably not. Yeah, let me fix it for you. It has to go into this sort of area. Can't go this way because it's blocked by the intake. Nothing to do but keep trying. And try to get it in a comfortable position too. Because again, this thing, you know, it weighs like 20 or 30 pounds, which itself isn't too terribly heavy. But then when you're holding it at an arm's length away, trying to lower it down into an engine bay, suddenly it begins to weigh a lot. Maybe this way will be the way to go. Ooh, progress. Easy now. Okay, this is good. Now again, you want to be careful because you don't want to slam it down onto those brand new ignition coils. $28 at Rock Auto, but $70 at the auto parts store. So you want to walk over. I'm actually surprised we got this far this quickly. This is a good sign. Ladies and gentlemen, perhaps the first episode of this series that isn't an hour long. Anyway, where is the dipstick in relation? Okay. Got to do a little bit more wiggling here. Again, trying not to contaminate our freshly clean surfaces here. Try to be as ginger about this as possible. As clean as possible. Okay, I think we're in the right position. We just have to move our transmission dipstick a little bit. This is probably going to fall in my arms, but that's okay. Come on. Okay, good. Yeah, folks, this is good. Okay, I just gently now have to move it. I have to move this back a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. Something is in the way, it seems. Oh yeah, just some connectors. Lower. Okay. There's something I'm catching on, so just let me figure out what it is. This is just a connector for here. This is just a connector for here. This is just a connector for here. Brackets. Hose. No, there were 3 hoses, right? So here's one hose. Here's the EGR. The EGR should get plugged in. One more hose. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3 hoses, EGR tube. Okay, I don't think I'm catching on anything, actually. I should be able to just drop this in now. Something's making a weird plasticky noise, but... Ladies and gentlemen, I think that is it. All right, there's a couple of things we have to do now. Well, of course, we can't forget to plug everything in the back, but let me torque down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bolts. Let me count that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bolts. Okay, so I have 7 of the long bolts that come from the top. One stubby bolt that I think I took off the bracket off the side, which is here. I guess you just can't see it. It's off camera. It's just to the side. This bracket. And then 3 little washers that go onto the studs on the sides of the upper intake here. So let me look up the torque specifications for the top bolts. All right. So let me set the camera here. We're going into Haynes manual viewing mode, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. On this show, we like to read. What's reading, you might ask? Good question. Oh, book. Let's see. Would that be under engine? Let me see. Chapter 2, Part B. Would that be under engine? Specifications. We're looking for upper intake manifold torque specifications. Intake manifold bolts. Upper intake manifold bolts, 105 inch-pounds. 105 inch-pounds is what? 8.75 pound-feet? Let's just say 9. Let's just say 9 pound-feet. All right. Let me see. So we have these long bolts. They look like 10 millimeter. Let me verify. They are 10 millimeter, yes. So I will bring a paper towel to lay the bolts on, a paper towel to wipe anti-seize off my fingers, and I will lay the long bolts down, 7 of them. I'm actually surprised I got the upper intake manifold in so quickly. It almost makes me feel like I've done something terribly wrong. I guess we'll find out, right? Anyway, we have our bolts. We have our anti-seize. And again, we like to be very careful with anti-seize because it does, in fact, get everywhere. Let's see. Will this be a good viewing angle for you all? I think you will have from here, perhaps. Maybe. Let's just start off here for now. See how we do. Anyway. First bolt here. And I think it's maybe only this much that actually gets threaded in. So that's what we're going to be coating in anti-seize. Why would you need blinker fluid? Wouldn't that ruin the bulb? Let me see, Tuck Chat. Oh, hiya, says USA Horse. Hello! Check your blinker fluid, says wife unit. I didn't know you could read. USA Horse replies, why would you need blinker fluid? Wouldn't that ruin the bulb? See, wife unit's father, when wife unit was a child, pranked her. He sent wife unit to the auto parts store to get blinker fluid, which of course doesn't exist. It's a joke, right? So all the auto parts store guys laughed. Yeah, no, my father-in-law, he's a pretty cool guy. So there we go. So we have the bolt with anti-seize, and we're just gonna drop it in, and I hope it finds the right hole. Put them. I will take a shortcut actually by using the Makita. I'm not gonna drive these in till they get tight. What I will do is just sort of get them started and get them, I guess, like hand tight. Because look, this would take forever by hand. Wait for that bolt to come through. Will it stop or will it keep going, I wonder? Keeps going, good. Whoops. Scared me a little bit, but there we are. Oh, I need to change the battery. I will be right back. I am back with battery. Okay, I think that's on. And that was the lowest torque setting there. That just to get us started here, so I don't have to sit there for half an hour by hand putting that thing in. And we move on to our next bolt. La da dee da dee da 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 da. Happy times. I'm over here like Bob Ross, but with anti-seize. There are no happy trees. Oh no, wait. He says he paints the happy tree. Whatever. Anyway, so since I've got one bolt in here, I'm going to go all the way to the back and drop this one in the back. So this way, one, I get the whole assembly lined up over all the holes correctly. And two, well, okay, this USA Horse says, my father used to overhaul engines from 1970s to late 80s cars. They used to be a lot simpler back then, weren't they? I mean, what, you had a carburetor that sat on the top, spark arrestor and all that stuff. I mean, the coils and spark plugs were all accessible from the surface, right? Must have been nice. Compared to what we just survived here. Must have been nice. No near-death experiences or shocks or anything unpleasant. All right, it's gonna drop now. Yes, and I believe we're on that second hole here. And this, by the way, folks, is that transmission fluid dipstick. I don't know why it looks crusty, maybe because they beat the living heck out of it. But this, on the cap, it says for dealer use only. If you go on eBay, you can find what's called the Chrysler generic dipstick. It's just a piece of metal that you just shove down in there. Yep. I guess that's how they saved like 60 cents per car back in the day. They didn't give you the transmission fluid dipstick. Next bolt. So I guess this is all in position now, and it feels pretty rigid too. I move this thing around and the whole car shakes with it. Good. Let's put more of the silver sauce. Smear it around. Good old silver sauce. Yep, there it is. And now I can just start dropping these in willy-nilly, right? So I will drop this one. And here's where it goes, if I recall. We'll get the next one going. There it is. Drop it in place. Only 3 more to go. You know what? This is actually so exciting. If I could put this together quickly enough, maybe we will go for a test drive tonight. I'd prefer to do a test drive in the day. So I could just see stuff better, I guess. But you know what? since we've taken the fuel rail off and changed the fuel injector, what we will do is we will turn the key on the car without starting the car, but we will like turn the key. How do I describe it? So there's like a first position, second position, and then the third is you start like the actual starter. So you go click, click, and then vroom to start the car, right? But if you just go click, click, it'll like the electronics will turn on. Okay, don't no one talk so we can finish to take a test drive. Oh my. Man, I'm lucky to have such a cool audience. All right. Let's get this thing moving. I mean, it's pretty neat. I don't have a whole lot of viewers, right? I don't have a huge audience, but only like 3,000 odd subscribers. I actually, when I get live or when I go live, I actually get a little bit of interaction, It's fun. It's like I'm hanging out with a couple folks. You stop in, you chill out for 3 minutes, you go on about your day, somebody else stops in, chills out for maybe 10. It's nice, it's nice. Oh yeah, I'm putting anti-seize on this one, forgot to tell you guys. Da-dee-da-dee-da, there it goes. All right. Let me wipe the anti-seize off my gloves before I start manhandling my Nikita. With anti-seize, you always have to be careful. Stuff is a weapon of mass destruction. You won't even know it, and you'll be covered in the stuff. Right. So I'm going to put my anti-seize rag in the garbage. The only thing worse than a cum rag is an anti-seize rag, right? So there we go. Threw that away. It's going to drop in 3, 2. Yep, there it goes. And a little bit more. And there it is. Good. Come on. There we go. Mm-hmm. And all this does is it saves me like half an hour in playing around with my hands. Take that out of context and do with it what you will. All right, let's get the torque wrench and we will torque it down to 9 foot-pounds because I believe 105 inch-pounds was 8.75. I actually had Wife Unit run that conversion for me. I do listen to her, I swear. This is proof. All right, so we're at 10. And we will set it to 9. Yeah, we will set it to 9. The lowest setting on the scale here is 10. I worry once you go below, that's when it loses accuracy. So we won't go to like 8 or anything. We'll just set it to 9 and leave it be. We will, like with everything else so far, we will work from the center and we will work our way out, right? It's an odd number. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we will start here then. You know what? An extension just might make this a little bit more comfortable. Nothing crazy, but an extra 3 inches would go a long way. Nobody laugh. Extra 3 inches. Whoops, I might have over tightened that one a little bit actually. Let me go back and redo it. I just wasn't ready for that click. I'll go back. Yes. Okay, and now I will go forward, being careful this time. There it is. I don't know if you guys can hear the clicking through this microphone. I'll keep quiet. There it is. That's 1, 2, 3. I guess I'll move down here. Oh, too fast again. Sorry, folks. Turns out 8 foot-pounds is like nothing. Well, 9 foot-pounds, I should say. Hold on. All right, let's do this a little bit more carefully. There it is. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4. So I guess this one's next. 5. Yikes, just a little bit too quick again. There it is. Okay, and now just the 2 outside bolts on the left side here. From your point of view, left side. All right, that's the 7 bolts now. While I was doing that, there's one part that I sort of looked at and was concerned about. You see that blue seal there? That's the back end of the EGR tube. When I tightened the bolts on the EGR valve, I tightened them till they got a little bit snug, so that tube is somewhat hard to move. Not terribly so, but a little bit. And now that I put this cover on, I'm hoping that, you know, between the force it takes to move the tube and the force to put it in, that I can still put it in. So all of that may have been for naught. So let's take care of that really quick before we do anything else. Let me just make sure. Oh, and I do have a piece of paper towel in here, actually. Let me get rid of that. Oh my. Okay, I have to get into that side, so I'm going to move you guys out of the way. 2 things I have to do. 1, remove a piece of paper towel that is still in the EGR tube. And 2, shove the EGR tube into the intake manifold. All right, that's the paper towel out, so that's good news. This part. Wouldn't want to leave that in there. That would just wreak havoc, I imagine. I mean, it's paper. Eventually it'll burn away, I guess. But now I have to get in there and push the tube in. Let me move my work light a little bit. Something appears to be slightly out of alignment here. I just got to make sure everything is sitting the way it's supposed to. Which it really looks like it is. Everything's supposed to be the way it is. I mean, nothing looks wrong. Everything looks evenly seated. Yeah, it's like the tube for the EGR is right here, and the hole, instead, well, sorry for the mental image, but it's like the hole is right here. So, I gotta try and swing that into position, if I may. How did it get like that? That's interesting. Interesting. I might have moved a little bit too quickly here. There's a chance I may have moved too quickly, folks. I mean, everything else seems to be lining up just fine. Maybe I bent the EGR tube? Possible. I mean, every other component seems to be fitting perfectly. What could be wrong here, I wonder? Okay, literally everything seems to be fitting perfectly right now, except for the EGR tube. That, for whatever reason, seems to be out of alignment. Now, the way it is, it's a tube and whatnot. It's attached at the bottom so that it swivels this way, but it shouldn't go this way, right? Because it only can swivel this way. But I need it to go this way, which is odd. Peculiar. Interesting. Why would it do that? Right, here's the hole for it. Here's the tube. Upper intake manifold sitting flush on the engine. Okay, unless I can get that tube to fit in there, we have a problem. Well, not really a problem, it's just a pain. Because what that would mean is we would have to take the upper intake manifold off, put the tube in, and then screw everything into place. Which is not terrible, but it's just a pain. Yeah, you know what? That might be the right thing to do. So what we will do is we will kind of like the fuel rail, how we tried to put the fuel injectors in first, and then we tried to put the fuel rail on and we just couldn't. I think the same thing is happening here. What we have to do is we have to loosen up these bolts. I guess we're going to have to slide this a little bit forward or to the side a little bit, hook onto the EGR tube. And then we can start bolting it down. That's the only way out I see. So let's just get to work. I don't think this would add more than like 10 minutes to our time here. Shouldn't be too terrible. Of course, that's on pretty tight though. Turns out 10 foot-pounds or 9 foot-pounds. You know what? Let me just break the bolts free with the breaker bar. Nikita doesn't seem to like 9 foot-pound. You guys didn't see that. That's funny. All right, let's break these loose. For a second there, folks, we tasted victory. We almost had it in our clutches. That's all right, though. That's all right. Now, what I'm mildly worried about is I've put anti-seize on these bolts. So now as I sort of jiggle this thing around to try to get the tube in place, I don't want to get anti-seize in that gasketed area. I don't believe we will, but just something to be slightly careful about, I guess. All right, I think we should be able to break the rest of these off with the Makita now. Wow, 2 times in a row. Folks, what is happening to me? All right. And let's actually bring it up like that. Hey, what gives? I've literally loosened this one up. There we go. I learn so that you guys don't have to. That's what I'm choosing to believe anyway. Mm-hmm. All right. So now I've purchased a little bit of wiggling room, essentially, right? So that's what I would think. Oh no, I got these brackets on. Take these brackets off. One on that side too. All right. Maybe now I've purchased a little bit of wiggle room. Yes, I have. Okay. Let's see what the deal is with the CGR tube. Right. This doesn't make my life any easier yet. Ooh, almost had it. Come on. Shoot. All right, folks, we're getting close. We're getting in the area now. Just a little more. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the EGR tube into the position as if it was in that intake already. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the whole intake onto the little itty bitty baby tube. This is one thing that I wish they made of like a heat resistant rubber or something, but I guess it gets so exceptionally hot that they couldn't. Anyway, I can almost taste victory. That's what I've said like 18 times already. Oh, hey, wife unit is joining me. How nice. Hello, wife unit. What drink? I have 65 minutes. You wait 12 episodes to give me a drink?
I can take it back.
No, give it.
Oh my gosh. I can lift it up more.
Oh, that's cold. Thank you. Oh, you're the best. Even if you waited 12 episodes to get me a drink. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, get you a wife that loves you. Of course, the tricky part now is that the tube is below this intake such that it prevents me from putting it in. Oh, maybe this time. Maybe this is it, folks. Greener pastures. Oh. And yeah, while I'm here, I could take a look and see that the anti-seize hasn't affected anything. Good. And you can see that the tube now is inside that air intake manifold. So this was the right play. This was good. Now, I just need to shove this all together somehow. Okay, and it looks like the tube is in, properly seated and everything. Good. Now, what's keeping me from resting on top of everything I need here? So free of this, free of this. Transmission dipstick is here. EGR tube is correctly positioned, and I don't believe I've messed up the rubbery bit. Well, looks like we're all right. Let's drop some bolts into place, shall we? I guess we get this one, get us started. You'll see that there's a small gap. Well, maybe you don't see. Hold on. Yeah, we're like slightly not flush here. It looks like there's a small gap in there. But if we get this one in place, get that one in place, and then clamp down, maybe we'll be in good shape. Let's try it. Let's see here. Of course, let me bring... I'm going to have to borrow the work light here for a second. I'm sorry, folks. Let's see. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, so now that two are started, perhaps the rest should be easy now. Okay, three are in place. How did I have this? Like this. Okay, good. Now this last one, I can't see how that rests on the engine, but if I've got all the other ones started, this one should be good as well. Anyway, Ugga time. And we'll set it to torque setting 1 on the Makita. Again, we'll tighten these by hand. La-dee-da-dee-dum. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The fact that it goes down and hits the torque limiter means that it falls into the threaded hole on the other side, so we're in good shape. And if I take a look, everything appears to be perfectly flush now. Now let me borrow the work light and check one more time. Make sure that we're sitting perfectly flush. To my knowledge, I believe we are. Good. Okay. That maybe that did add all of 10 minutes, but yeah, that turns out is the right way to go about it. You want to set up the EGR tube first. Once you set up the EGR tube first, then it's easy to put the intake manifold on. So similar situation like how it was with the fuel rail and fuel injectors. Looking at my torque wrench here, we're still set to 9 foot-pounds. Oh, I have it set the wrong way. There we go. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. There's one. Two. Three. 1, 2, 3. Let's go here. Hello. There it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming right up. If I can get it lined up on the, there we go. All right. 2 more. And these are on the left side here. There it is. Last one. Okay. Now, with all things that were torqued down, I mean, just the same way that is, we're going to go over it one more time and make sure that it just wasn't a fluke. So just gently with my wrist here, we'll check this one. See, since we've torqued it down, all the other ones, it changed this one a little bit. All right. So since one of them was changed, we're going to do one more round after this. Yeah, see? Since we torqued them all down, sometimes, you know, the object comes down a little bit lopsided. There we go. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? One more round now. I like to get them to the point where you put them on, and then the moment you start turning it, it clicks, right? So it goes, there you go, that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think it was this bolt. Had a lot of movement still. So another round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect this time. Good. What's left? Let's see. Connector. 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 I don't know if this red tab's supposed to go up or go down. It's kind of jammed in place. I'll leave it be. This goes on the air intake. This bracket goes here. Okay, 2 hoses, 3 hoses. I'll connect those in a bit. I don't see any loose connectors down here. We do have these 2 brackets though that we have to put on in a little bit. Okay. Let me get those 3 hoses in the back there hooked up. Let me do it. Let me do it. All right, you guys are mildly in the way here, so if I push you guys over, please accept my apologies. If I push you guys over. Right, so there's 1 hose here. That goes here. 1 small hose. I see what I've done. I've trapped paper towel for the small hose when I put on the big hose. Let me free that one up. There it is. Took that out. Right, push big hose in. Push small hose in. There's 1 more big hose in the back here. There it is. Remove paper. Push hose in all the way. I think that's the PCV valve hose. That's in all the way, in all the way. This one I could push more. There we go. That one's in all the way. Good, good, good. This bracket. Let's... Oh, I pushed you guys so you can't see anything. I'm sorry. All right. Now let's tighten up our brackets, which you may or may not be able to see if I can get the phone to stay put. There we go. Let's see. These little washers are possibly also 10 millimeters. Let me just make sure they're not 8. Yeah, they're 10. So small washer. At least I think they're 10. I haven't compared them to a number 10 yet. Yeah, they're a 10. Okay. So the small fella we put on over here. We're just going to go till it gets tight. I don't believe there's any real torque specification for this. And even if there was, I wouldn't even be interested. All right. Now, this bracket that we just bolted the washer onto, it's like a triangle. 1 point at the top, 2 points on the bottom. And one of these had a bolt like this. I think that might have been a 13 or a 14. Let me double check. I lied, it was a 16. We will take our 16. I guess we don't need this anymore. All it does, or all it will do, is just get in the way. So we will do away with that. Let's see, now this already pretty solid, but you're probably not even able to see with the camera, but there's like a tube here. And I have maybe like 2 fingers of space, 2 finger widths of space to work down here. I think it's actually better if you go from under. Yes, it's actually better if you go from underneath. Find that bolt hole, and hopefully it threads right in with no issues. Indeed it does. Good. That's good news. Yeah, so the play for that down there bolt is to go from underneath, actually. Where's my wrench? There it is. No, that's the small wrench. What the hell? I just had the thing in my hands. Oh, wow. Here it is. Where did I just put the thing? There it is. How terrible. Why would they build it this way? That's just so shocking. It's such a stupid way. Maybe if I try the other way. Yes. Jeez. There's got to be a better angle for this, right? But there kind of really isn't. This calls for the adjustable. And I think, was that what I originally did? Feels like it. Because I just don't see any other reasonable way of getting this. Oh my goodness. What a pain. No, that's not really working out for me either. How did I get this damn thing to come loose originally? Jeez. Okay, I tightened it down, but that was a stupid angle to work at. And now I'm just checking the one on the other side. I don't think I touched it, but just gonna check it in case I did, in fact. Maybe I did loosen this one up a little bit. Maybe this one's just one size off. Let me try. This one is the 15. Maybe one side is bigger than the other. Yeah, I think one was a 16 and this one is a 15. Or maybe both were 15s and one of them just corroded and swole a little bit. Don't know. But the 15 fit on this one, so that's what we will go with. And yes, I did loosen the one on the bottom there a little bit. So we do have to go back and tighten that one. Yes. Good, we're doing that right now. Like one little ratchet at a time. There we go. Folks, I think that's good. That's the 3 brackets on that side. I believe that's all of the electrical connectors except for this one. So let's put our air intake in right now. Now this one's a custom one. Well, homemade one actually. But if you had an aftermarket air intake or if you had the original one, yeah, similar process applies. You might get a better view from here, actually. Just gotta grab the thing and bring it over. All right, so here we are. I guess we will start by dropping in our heat shield first. Let's see, how do I remember even how exactly it went in? Did it go? Shoot, how did I have this originally? Let's see. This part was pushing up against a tube somewhere. This part was sitting. Okay, I see. So this sits on the ledge. Is that right? That does not seem right. Let me back off. What is going on? Let's see. How did I have this thing originally? Tricky, tricky. Okay, this part had to be in like this. This part could not possibly have been rubbing up against the engine. So this was turned this way. There we go. That's a little bit better. I think that's exactly how it was. Actually, that seems right. Yeah. I believe that's correct. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So let me take, you guys can't see. Or you know what? The part that you can see will be this red tube at the bottom, perhaps. So let me remove paper towel from this and the tube. And now let me just finagle the tube in all the way. Yes, like a glove. Remove this nice fellow. Well, when I say this nice fellow, I mean that paper towel. Fellas, we're making good progress. Maybe we'll get a test drive tonight. Okay. Let's take this hose bit. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. All the way to the end there. Good. Get our hose clamp. Come on. Try to line it up nice and even. Come on. Oh, okay. Good. Good. I believe that sits the way it should. Let me get a flathead screwdriver. Let me rub my finger around the band, make sure that it is seated all around the rubber. Let me actually loosen it up. I think it was correct, but I just want to move it a little bit. More to the left, yep. Then shove this on, and now tighten down. That should be much better. Come on. There it is. Tighten it down pretty hard by hand, nothing crazy, but it should be on. Give it a good couple pulls. Yes, that's super snug. You know what? We'll tighten it up just a little bit more for good measure. Okay, I think everything on that side is. Oh no, not quite yet. Not everything. You know what? While I'm here, let me yoink this sensor. Oh, you know what? I'll just leave that sensor in place. I won't check it. We will put this connector. We will put right back in. If I can figure out which way it goes. Yes. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a genius. A genius, I tell you. All right. Good. The microphone is still on. Oh no, video froze. You know what? I think whenever like a battery warning pops up, the pop-up freezes the video. What I've done was I've put the intake back on and I've reconnected the, I guess that's called the airflow sensor, this little sensor that sits inside of the intake. We've got everything on that side done, I believe. All the connectors are back in position. All the tubes here are in. The EGR tube is in. Go back here. I'm going to feel. Now we're going to the left side of the engine. And I don't think there's much here to do except tighten down two brackets pretty much. But let me run my hand by the PCV valve, make sure that tube is still on. I had to pull on that side pretty hard. Yeah, I think we're good. Be all right. Push it in place a little bit more. I think I can. So, and therefore I shall. Oh, there's like no room. But I think that will do. Right. Okay. Unless I am mistaken, all that's left are these two brackets. There's washers on top, two of them. These ones. I'll put one here. And now these are like straight pieces of metal. So there's like one on the top, well, one washer on the top and one washer on the bottom. So I will have to tighten both because I think I had to loosen both initially. Right. This top one, I think I'm going to have to get with an adjustable wrench because there is not even 2 fingers worth of room there. So that is not even, there's just no chance, I believe, that that's going to go on with a regular old ratchet. So just got to do it the old-fashioned way. Well, not necessarily old-fashioned, just painful and irritating and slow method here. Just, oh no, wait a minute, I'm loosening it. That's the wrong direction. Come on, this is the way we're supposed to be moving. These are probably the least favorite. Did I call these washers? I guess these are nuts, technically. These are the least favorite out of all the bolts, nuts, washers, you name it. These are probably the worst on this whole entire car, simply because there's just no room. It's awful. Just gonna glance over at my phone, make sure there's no battery warnings causing the video to freeze. No, there isn't. Okay. Is that on pretty tight, or did I strip the bolts? Ah, that's on pretty tight. Okay. Now the bottom one looks like a 15. Bottom one on this one looks like a 15. The top one, this is a 10. Let me see if I can get the 15 on the bottom here. There's no way I'm reaching that one by hand. Now what about down here? Okay, the 15 fits down here. I'm going to tighten the 10 first, though. Let's see. Where did I put it? Where is it? Where did you go? Is it this? 10, yes. All right. Oh, I don't think I can fit here. Yeah, this is what I mean. This is stupid. Did I get this loose with an adjustable as well? How did I have patience for this when I started? My goodness. Yep, I guess we'll just do the adjustable for the top here. And the adjustable must be used for the bottom. There's no way around it, unfortunately. Well, the bottom for this bracket, I think we can get away with a ratchet, but on the other bracket, it's gonna have to be adjustable. And you guys can see why I don't like using the adjustable. It doesn't ratchet, so you have to twist it, come off of it, twist it, come off of it, twist it, so on, so forth. Takes quite a while. I think we're getting somewhere, though. Ow. Yeah, okay, so this is more like a 9.5 millimeter. Oh, no, wait, hold on. Yeah, okay, there we go. Okay. That's pretty tight now. Ah, video froze again. Sorry, folks. Yeah, battery warning came up again. All right, and I have 10% battery left. I'm actually very excited about this. I think we will go ahead and sneak a test drive in tonight. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna get the bottom bolts tightens down. Okay. I'm gonna, since we've messed with so many bolts around the thing, I'm gonna check the top ones again. And then I'm gonna let the phone charge for like 30 minutes. And then we'll give it a quick test drive. Now it's nighttime outside, so you guys aren't gonna see much during the test drive, but the idea is to turn the key, let it build up fuel pressure, see if there's any leaks, start it, glance at it really quick. I don't want to let it run too long in the garage though, because carbon buildup and carbon monoxide buildup, blah 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 blah. Pull out of the garage. We'll go around the block 2 or 3 times. We'll come back in, park it. Yeah. Anyway, less talking, more working. Let's go down here. I think this was a 15 millimeter down below. Set it for 15 and see where that takes us. It'll take us a while, but it works. We're doing like a fifth of a turn, and then we flip the adjustable because it's angled a certain way. So we turn it, we flip it, we turn it, we flip it. There we go. A little bit more on this one. Come on. All right. And now the bottom bolt on this side. I think that one we can hit with the ratchet. Let's see. Here it is. Get down there. Okay, you know what? We have to drop our hand in first, if I recall. Drop our hand in first. Then we drop our ratchet in. And we're blind, but we're feeling with our fingers. Put the ratchet over the... You know what? Maybe that wasn't the right move. Hold on, let's see. Go from this side then. Going in blind. Feel where to put the ratchet. I think I've got it. Yes. I don't know if the camera gives off the awkward angle I'm working at right now, but it is awful. Okay, I think that will do. Just gotta back the socket off of it now. Come on. There it is. Whew. Solid. Let me grab my torque wrench. Set to 9. Since we've messed with a lot of bolts around the intake, let's just check it one more time here. Shouldn't be anything. Yeah. I don't know if you can hear the clicking through the microphone, but These are still perfect. I did this. So now I go here. Still perfect. Perfect. Yeah, okay. All right. So we still have like less than 10% battery remaining. There's not a lot I could do with that. So what I will do is I will put the car on the battery tender, let the battery charge up. I will put my phone on the charger, let the phone charge up. And in 30 minutes to an hour, we will let the fuel rail build pressure. We will look it over for any leaks. We will start the car, take it to the driveway, let it idle for maybe a minute or two, and take it around the block like 2 or 3 times. Just a quick test drive. All right. But that comes after we charge up our batteries a bit. Wow. There it is, folks. It's all back together now. Looking good. Oh, albeit a bit grimy and dusty, but that's just the way it is with like, what is it, 2005, 2023. It's like 18 years old. Is that right? 2005 plus 10 years, 2015 plus 10 years, that's 20 years, 2025 to try. Yeah, 18 years. Arithmetically challenged here. Right. The battery tender. First off, let me get rid of this empty box. This is no longer needed. I don't need the digital micrometer. I don't need this piece of hose. They turned out to be not really needed. I will set them aside. Okay, so to put the battery tender on, I have to actually plug the cable in. So I'm going to drop you guys in the trunk, and I will be back in like a moment, all right? Let's see, work lamp. Let's drop that over here for now. Unplug it. Right. Okay, taking the extension cable back wasn't as painful of a process as I had imagined it would be. This is good. Snaking our extension cable back along to this side of the car now, since I don't need my work light anymore. Or so I would hope. Right, here we are. We will plug in our battery tender last. Here's our battery tender. Yes, there it is, the battery tender. Let me unravel it. For those of you unfamiliar, the battery tender, it keeps the battery charged, I guess, and that helps preserve battery life, I suppose. That's all. When you drive the car like every once in a blue moon, if you don't have a battery tender, you just wear out your battery faster, I think. Or so I've heard. Let me see. I am going to have to lift up a little bit. The battery is actually located, believe it or not, the battery is actually located under the trunk. And that's where the cable for the battery tender actually is. I should have it on the surface here somewhere, actually. Oh, no, I don't. You know why? Because I've unplugged the battery. Hold on a minute. Okay. Do you guys even see the... Yeah, you see the battery. Okay, good. So this is the cable for the battery tender, which also is attached to the positive and negative terminals. Please don't give me a shock. Okay, I pushed that down. I am going to need my adjustable wrench again. My adjustable wrench will tighten down the bolt on the negative terminal. Righty-tighty is this way. Yes. This I could actually probably get with a deep socket now that I think about it, but whatever. It's all right. All right, is that snug? Let me tighten it just to, these I don't want to over tighten, but at the same time, I just, make sure it's snug. All right, and there it is. Let me just get the cable for the battery tender. I'm going to plug that right in. Come on. Yep. Just join the two up. I can close the trunk. There it is. Let me put this away. Oh, and the good news is we have no bolts or screws or anything left over. Usually a good sign. If I can just stop everything from falling over, that would be splendid. All right. So there we are, folks. We've got everything put back together. We've thrown the car on the battery tender. So I'm going to let the car charge up for like 30 minutes, an hour. I'm going to let the cell phone charge up 30 minutes to an hour. And then we will come back and pressure test the fuel rail and take it up for a test drive. Now, a couple bad things that may happen. If the fuel rail leaks, that's no good. We can't drive with leaking fuel everywhere because that's a fire hazard. What else can go wrong? Initially, we started all of this because the engine was stalling. There was a misfire in cylinder 3. We removed the spark plugs and they were pretty bald. So I suspect the problem was, in fact, the spark plugs. But you never know. Maybe we'll start the thing, we'll start driving, and then it'll still misfire somehow for some reason. So a couple things to look out for when we test drive. But we owe it to ourselves. We'll test drive it tonight. We've worked too hard to lay this off until tomorrow. So I'll see you guys in like 30 minutes to an hour. So 30 minutes to an hour. All right. So see you guys then, unless something comes up. But let's plan on 30 minutes to an hour. All right. Bye bye.